Hi everybody, welcome to episode 37 of the Teesside Business Podcast. Today we've been very lucky to be joined by Francis from Sparta Security. Thanks very much for coming down and having a chat with us.
Good afternoon, and it's good to be here. Thank you very much.
So if you can start off just by giving us a little bit of a brief overview of yourself and how you came to start up Sparta.
So, 18-year-old, I went to university. I was a professional boxer. That's where my skill set lied. Trying to get into major honours, which they never came. I was domestic level. I was a door supervisor for Pocket Money Michael, and it went from there. You know, the door security team at the time packed in. I started the security game with a colleague of mine, a super heavyweight boxer, who was my best friend, and it went from there. Really, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say two men or two friends are good in business. It kind of went. You know, the relationship faded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I ended up boxing Ireland. Neil Sinclair, European champion, beat him in the 7th round. Got about 15 grand for it. And then I bought the other guy out of the company.
Mm-hmm.
He'd asked me, I think we had 2 doors at the time.
Yep.
So no contracts neither. So I think I gave him 6-7 grand for it, and it went from there. You know.
Mm-hmm. You kind of like, not so much maybe in Teesside, but you do see it quite overall that a lot of athletes do go into business and things like that. I think there's a lot of like, especially like in combat sports and boxing, like I think that there's a lot of kind of traits that successful people in that area that transfers really well over to business.
Yeah, like who are you thinking of?
It's just that you kind of see, like I say, I can't think of any locally, but nationally you hear all the time of like boxers who go like into certain types of
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I've came across one recently. You know, and good on him. I mean, I never had no business acumen, to be honest. When I first started the game, I learned through trial and error. Gypsies, travellers, Michael. You know, they don't have a good education. The majority,
No.
But hey, they have a few quid in the bank because they know what they're doing. They sell stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's from trial and error. So generally how you learn. So, you know, I was put in the game, the security game, business game, and I learned business. I'm 38 now. So 20 years. Do you know, but, oh boy, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. I used to live out in America, and Sparta was going. My now wife, Rachel, who I wasn't seeing at the time, was running the business. You know, and I was concentrating on my boxing career, trying to get to world honours over there.
Yeah.
And I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
But then I came back over and I went to something called B&I.
Yeah, I used to. We've talked about it on previous podcasts. Something that we were in it for a little bit, but no longer.
Yeah, that's right. And do you know what it is? I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the MD at all. I think it's materialistic, superficial. You know, but I thought what he had was unbelievable because businesses come together and talk to businesses. You know, so in my chapter, Champions at Sedgefield, which I'm no longer in, I think I came and it was 6:30 on a morning we'd meet, and we listen, and all businesses, like iron sharpens iron, the Bible says. I'm a Christian, but and if you're a good boxer, if you're my kid, I'd need to put you in a good boxing gym. Why? Because I want you to come on. And only iron can sharpen iron. You can't get steel or magnesium. Like iron sharpens iron. So good boxers sparring against you would train and sharpen you. And in that same respect, if I've got enthusiasm and I would like to be the Conquering Security Company, I would like to sell quality and be a dominant presence across the Northeast, then I've got to be around like-minded individuals.
Yep.
Like the Bible says, Christians knock around with Christians because they can sharpen each other and say, "Oh, don't do this, don't do that."
Yep.
B&I was awesome, not good. It was awesome.
Yep.
But you know, it is what it is. There's a few wolves in the flock.
Yep.
Like with anything in life, and you know, so it's one of them. You know.
I think it's like I say, we were in it before, and I think like it's a good environment for what you were talking about.
Yeah,
like,
I learned the trade.
Yeah, when I came in, I was in a period where we were just about to like really wanting to grow the business and ramp it up a bit, and there was a lot of people there who were either in positions where they had businesses the size that we wanted to be, or even for stuff like getting HR advice, tax advice.
That's right,
kind of
and
stuff,
it's all businesses, and we're talking, and I want to know about. I mean, when I came to Teesside Business, I thought I had done no research on you, Michael, but I've come in your studio. I did actually think you was going to do this interview. I thought, is it a guy out of his backstreet bedroom? And I've walked into your studio, and wow, it's unbelievable, all the rooms that you've got, and it just looks really professional. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thanks very much.
And like, for me to see you at 6 on a morning and talk, because your business is no different than mine.
No.
You want to sell quality. You want people to be happy with the services you sell.
Yeah.
And you're proud of your business. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're like-minded in that respect. I can see you're proud of it. I only know you 5 minutes, but I can just see it around me. You're at a similar age. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So good on you. And I hope it keeps going, and you're flying the flag for it.
Thanks very much. So when you were going through that period yourself of kind of like, having your attention on Sparta and wanting to grow it and things like that, if you could go back, would there be any things that you would do a little bit differently?
Oh, without a doubt, it is what it is. It's like that question, can the immovable object hit the irrestoppable? It just, if you can go back in your life, and of course there's things that you can change. You make.
Oh yeah,
But like in boxing, you can say, keep your right hand up, and they don't. But what does it is if you keep getting tagged, and then you think yourself, hang on a minute, I'll keep my right hand up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, of course, on hindsight, see the bird's eye view, I would go back and change stuff. I'd have gone to B&I a lot sooner. And I'm not advocate for B&I, by the way. Mm-hmm. Certainly not. But I don't get out. I think the MD's one of them.
Yeah.
But I think it's awesome. Do you know?
Is that the kind of reason why you left it? Obviously, we won't name names and stuff, but is it like one of the reasons that there was a few reasons why we left, but I loved a lot of the people in there, and some of them are still really good friends. The structure kind of thing that just didn't sit right with me. I think it's a great thing, and I know lots of people who are in it and stay in it. And
Francis Jones can only, if you have £1 million, or if you have 10 million or $1 billion, and you want to, I'll work with you, but I cannot listen I can't listen to nonsense, let's call it. I can't, and sometimes in business, what I find, you've got your dicky bow tie, and you've got your black and white pinstripe suit, you've got money, you've got status, but I can't get on with you because you don't talk with respect. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about you get a lot of this in business. You know, you get a lot of it, and I can't be a little brown noser.
No.
I can never do it for no one, and I wouldn't like someone like my staff work with me, right? They have their skill sets, and they go out and do it. My accountant, my PR, my operations, which is that operations job. You need someone with such a skill set on it because it's non-stop.
Yeah.
We're about $1.5 million turnover at the minute, Sparta. But the problems that you come in on a daily basis, like last night we had a place in Stockton, dealerships being hit. We have a task force out every night, which, we have different regions of where we cover. So they're ex-army, ex-military, patrolling the streets. But the operations has to do, so Newton Aycliffe, we had Chewy Newton Aycliffe last night. And then the guy's like, well, no one come to the site last night because one of the back doors was broken in.
Yeah.
This is on a site that we do.
Yeah.
Right? So I say, okay, then what, I don't know what time it was but I got in this morning back, okay, then so we look at the story, the generator's off on the site.
Yeah. Which
he knows, the site manager, if the generator's off, the cameras aren't powered.
Yeah. There's no power. 100%. Yeah.
So when you look into it, and so that's an operation job. So he let the client know, but if you can't sell quality sells itself.
Oh, absolutely.
Because referrals come in,
Yeah.
So it's a non-stop, but if you get quality in any area, then you can grow your business.
Yeah. So for any people who are listening who aren't fully aware of Sparta, can you give us a brief overview of what Sparta does? I know obviously we've said there, and it's a security company, but there's a lot that's right, within that, isn't there?
Oh, boy, you what? So Sparta sells peace of mind and added confidence. So let's say you generally, Michael, you shut the door after the horse is bolted. In the summer or the winter, you take your vitamin C after you get a cold or the flu, generally. Or you should get your flu injection at the start because it stops from getting flu,
Yeah.
But you know what it is, though? So you get hit and you ring security.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Now, people buy up people they know, like, and trust.
Mm-hmm.
If one of them's missing, if you know me and like me but don't trust me, me and you's not doing business.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you trust me and like me but don't know me, it's not happening. Yeah. So all three have got to work. Mm-hmm. And tell us your question again.
Just give us a brief overview of what Sparta does.
My history, I get punched in the head. So, listen, I can be sat there with my missus and I'm saying, Rachel, tell me again what you just asked me. So yeah, we sell security guards, mm-hmm. CCTV monitoring,
yep.
Equipment to people, patrols. Mm-hmm. We use ex-army, ex-military people, not necessarily them all. Yep. Uniform services, they've done it before, they've been Afghan, mooching about.
Yep.
It's the same kind of thing in Stockton, Middlesbrough, in Teesside, and County Durham.
Yep.
But you're just looking for burglars, not the Taliban,
Yeah. One of the things that you mentioned there, like monitoring, I think, was it yourself who put out a post saying basically that, or it might have been someone else if I'm wrong, where it's all well and good having CCTV, but it doesn't matter if it's not monitored.
You put some cameras up, but it needs to be monitored, because if I come near your building and put a balaclava over your head, then you watch it back on a Monday morning when you get in, mm-hmm. and you just see figures. So you need it monitoring. You need to be have an activation for when, if someone comes to this office, let's say, and I can see the PIR sensors up now, so I know you've got security, but there needs to be a trigger, so that'll go, no doubt, to your phone, or it'll go to an external, and they'll come down here, but rather than get it done after, get it done prior. That's what the wise man did. He built his house on stones. The wise man used Sparta security, Michael.
Well, you're right, though, isn't it? It's one of those things, whether it's security or insurance or anything like that, like, people don't think about it till they need it, and then it's already too late.
Yeah, that's right.
And, I suppose there's probably a lot of companies that...
Yeah, it's an added cost. It's an added cost. I'm a big Christian. I believe in the big man. And so here's one for you. Would Sparta thrive in heaven?
Oh, yeah.
Would it or not?
That's a good question. Yeah, I was going to say, because in heaven, that you wouldn't have the.
I tell you, it'd thrive in hell. 100%,
yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm not going there. But it's all good, isn't it? Every day is different, and I mean that. Every day is different.
Yeah.
Like, I can wake up, or I can be called out. Let's say I have various patrols ongoing, but so on Sunday night, in a certain region, it was on a golf course. There was bikers all over the golf course, well, quad bikers, and you're talking a prestigious golf resort.
Yeah.
But there's quad bikers all running across the flags. Now you can't have CCTV down there because there's no power sources to power them.
Yeah.
So patrols are good, signage is good.
Yeah.
We detain. So it's not just about a lollipop man going down saying, "Oh, you stop. I want to catch him."
Yeah.
And you work with the police to try and get this, because you's paying for me. You want it stopped. And it's like when you throw a stone in a river or pond or whatever. What happens when you throw a stone in a pond?
Makes ripples, waves.
Guaranteed. Yeah. So see them people who you catch on a quad bike, mm-hmm. they have pals, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they tell their pals and they say, where Sparta are, let's not go.
Yeah.
Do you know? So because I said it earlier on, if you sell quality, it sells itself.
Yeah.
Do you know? And the referrals come forward.
Yeah.
And then you're non-stop. So it's just non-stop job. But what gives me satisfaction mm-hmm. is the same as you. Is if your customers ring and say, "Thank you, this is a good show. That's a good presenter," because it puts a smile on your face, because you're selling quality, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're making people happy, and that's something. The Bible says there's more blessing in giving than there is in receiving.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thoroughly agree with you there. I think a lot of people, and something that is one of the good things about BNI that we talked about, and that we have with this podcast, is like putting people together. Yeah, like if somebody says, like I've had it where we've had people on the podcast and people or colleagues or customers or whatever picked up the phone going, I would really like to talk to that person. Is it possible? And then you ask them, and then you can put people together, and it is really good.
Yeah, and that was the thing, in that B&I, because you get referrals, and that's part of the process. So in the boxing, the foundation is the jab. Listen, if you've got no jab, you're not going nowhere. It's just the truth. Yeah. You need a job. You need a jab. Like, we could be fishing, and you could be an awesome fisherman, and I could have. But listen, Michael, I've got 50 rods.
Yeah.
I've got 50 rods, and this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. Like the one with the skin. Who's going to catch more fish? Let's say if I've got 20 rods, not 50.
Yeah. Well, it depends how experienced the other person is.
Well, I'm not experienced. I've just got 20 rods, and I go out there. But you see, I didn't know this. There's a knack to fishing.
Yeah.
Because all the fish are in there, and you've got to make it a challenge and a competition that they all want the bait. Mm-hmm. Do you know? So you move it away from them.
Yeah.
If they go to grab it, right? Because you want interest in around, and then one of them will take a bite. Mm-hmm. And it's like that with regards to business. So the foundations have got to be secure.
Yeah.
Do you know, like the jab? All quality boxers will need a jab.
Yeah.
You cannot have a jab if you're a world champion.
Oh yeah.
And that's the best offensive and also defensive you can have. If I had a kid, they have 4 paws, my dogs. Yeah. But the jab, and I wouldn't get him to be good at the jab. I would get him to be awesome, because you can keep me away from you with a jab. You can frustrate me with a jab. You can get me to lose my composure, which is what you want, because we're not on about a fight, it's about a boxing match.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah, and skill will always win. Mm-hmm. So with regards how you figure that to business, by quality, generally mature for me. I wouldn't necessarily say young'uns, mature, experienced, reliable, professional.
Yep.
And they come, generally, Michael, from the forces, do you know?
Yeah. Well, they've had that kind of, again, it's...
Isn't it?
Like we were talking about, like, skills or habits, shall we say, that you get as being an athlete, like, dedication, single manners, making sacrifices, doing stuff because you have to, even the stuff you don't want to do.
Can I just say this either? When I was boxing, I was on it, dieting and, just non-stop, train. And like, if you could do 1,000 press-ups, I'd have to. If I was boxing, I'd have to do 1,001.
Yep.
Nah, it's the skill that you need. And never mind your press-ups. Do 1,000 press-ups, but I'll punch your head in when the bell goes.
Yep.
Because I've got the jab. You do your 1,000 press-ups, I'll do my 1,000 jabs.
Yep.
Now, can I just say this? Here's one for you, right? We've got a mare in Teesside named Ben Ouchin.
Yeah. We've had Ben on the podcast previously.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yeah, Ben's been
and so I'm always a bit thinking. I like to see people and all that there, and I've never had the satisfaction of getting a 1-to-1 with him, which I'd love. If you're listening, Ben Ouchin, you need a 1-to-1 with Spartacus. He'll teach you how to jab Ben, But what Ben does, right? About 26-year-old, I've seen him in the last 2 weeks. I've seen him in a restaurant, and I stayed back just to have a chat with him, this, that, and the other. He's only a kid. He looks, I did say to him, he looks 26. I said, listen, if you were coming in my pub, I had the door there, Ben. I said, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't ID you because you're older than 18. I said, you're young for your age. But do you know the knowledge he's got and the wisdom he comes across? Now, he doesn't drink.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Because the table he was on at the time, he was talking to them people from the Teesside Airport, which they just opened, and they came around with the champagne or something, but he didn't touch it. And do you know what it is? I thought he's like a Franny Jones when he's boxing, because you've got to be disciplined, you've got to be self-controlled, you've got to be professional.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I hope he does become Prime Minister, I'll be honest with you, right? Providing he's a benefit.
Yeah.
But, Michael, good on him.
Yeah.
Good on him, because I'd have probably knocked the champagne glass into me.
Yeah. And
theirs as well. And I'd have gone on a bender, do you know? But, like, good on him, do you know?
He's it's quite surprising me, because I know Ben's from, like, a rugby background, and obviously...
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so having a few beers and that obviously normally goes hand in hand.
Yeah, but if he's wanting to get the top right.
Yeah.
In order for that, sacrifice got to be made. Do you know what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
I don't mind a drink, you know. I like have a bit, just relaxes you, have a bit of crack, this, that, and the other. But in that position that he is in, you've got to have decisions. And listen, I'll be honest with you, you can't afford to.
Oh, no.
Do you know? So,
like I say, we've had Ben on the podcast. We were very lucky for him wanting to come on. Like, we've got no interest in politics or anything like that.
No, I haven't myself, to be honest.
But Ben is really passionate about
you see that,
business.
don't you? You see that, don't you? You do see it. You do. And like, if you don't have passion, you ain't going to the top. Whether it's boxing, tiddlywinks, chess. And by the way, Franny Jones is some chess player. If you want to add him on that chess app on the old Apple phone, my name is Sparta Security.
Possibly... Oh yeah, did I see something that you said that you do quite a lot of it in your free time? Is that for like because you just really enjoy playing, or is it to keep your mind going?
Listen, you play people from all over the world, right?
Yeah.
So I was playing someone in Cambodia the other day or somewhere, and I took his queen, and I'll be honest with you, it gives me a buzz. If I can get your queen, it gives me a buzz. And you get some people, and they can be I'm sitting there on the couch at home. My missus goes, "Are you playing chess?" Because I'll just come out with a laugh, a little sly laugh, right? Or she'll say, "Have you just been big at chess?"
Just go in a bad mood when you get beat.
I'm on 700 points at the minute. You get about 8 points for a win, and I'm trying to get. If you lose about 11 or 8 points. But I'm trying to get over the grand mark. I've never got a 900 before. But you play people, and some of them work the cell. Some of them will send you messages saying, the work the cell. Like I had one the other day, was working himself on Saturday. His profile picture was of an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And and so I got him a checkmate, and he gives a load of verbal. But I love stuff like because I get a buzz off it.
Yeah. Well, is that I can't remember. Is it in New York where they play in the park? And there's a lot of that, isn't there? Where they play,
do
like...
that? Well, I was thinking about joining a chess club,
Yeah.
for a bit of frisk. Lennox Lewis used to play chess,
Makes sense. Well, it's called like the Sweet Science, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's right. But there's an art, but there's a kid there who plays. He's about 20-year-old, 25 maybe, and he's a world champion. And you think, how do you get to that standard of, like, here's one for you. Can I just say this to you? Can you imagine, right, Jesus being funny, going around knocking jokes out all the time?
You know what? Yes and no. When I start to think about it,
do you think so?
Maybe not, because you kind of like that's how you would think he was a very serious person.
What about Einstein?
Yeah, you would probably not think that Einstein.
No, because do you know why? Why wouldn't you not think Einstein would be going around like you'd have him at the Stockton Theatre knocking out a comedy? You wouldn't have it, would you? Or,
no.
I wouldn't say Jesus would be knocking out a comedy neither.
No.
Because I would say they're intelligent.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Well, isn't that right?
Yeah.
And so is the more intelligent you are, the less you laugh. See, my dad's intelligent.
Yeah.
He is 100%. He's like sharp as a carrot.
Yeah.
And he but he doesn't laugh that much. None at my jokes, anyway. Do you know?
Maybe it's just the thinking all the time. You know what I mean? Like if you're deep in thought about something,
I think the more intelligent you are, the less you laugh. And see me, I laugh all the time.
I was going to say, that doesn't bode well for me at all. if that's the way. So.
Yeah, I have a very, very low. But listen, I love life. I thank God for it. I have a great time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, when we're talking about Sparta and things like that, one thing that we always like to do is try and connect people who come on the podcast with like other people and things like that.
Yeah.
So, what kind of companies are you currently working with? What, like, you don't have to name them, but I mean, just like in industry, for example. Or what do you want to get more into? Are there any other like sectors or industries?
So they say, I've got a radio advert going out in a minute. If you want security guards, it's Sparta. I forget, it's some kind of jingle. So we sell seasoned security guards, gatehouse, 24/7. So Fujitsu, Hitachi, your stamp, where you need a presence, £10 million, let's say turnover, you need a security officer on there.
Yeah,
so that's what we do more of. We have about maybe 70, 80, 90 officers on there. Dog patrols that we have, but it's if you've got valuables, then you need security.
Yeah.
And CCTV is good; it's a deterrent. But you can never beat a man sat here when a burglar comes at 3 a.m.
No.
Say, hello, mate, how you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, the CCTV speaker will talk to you.
Yeah.
But you don't get better than a man here.
It's that presence, isn't it?
It's
like
the presence.
that,
The police are coming down off the streets. I understand it. and sometimes their hands are tied because the government's got a budget. So what do you do? I used to do residential security, so I was like a busy fool. So I chase everyone's problems. Darlington's where I'm from. Yeah, we do all the northeast, but and I used to do it. I'd do it for you. You got a problem with what? Or some vandals are doing your car. And I'd kind of I'd be down there over the road in my truck or my car, and you just, I think we charge £3.50 a week, but I'm not a busy fool. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I generally work B2B, business to business now. And the company's flying at the minute,
Yeah.
Well, it's not flying. That's wrong. It's not flying. We are still on that runway, but we're going about 100 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Is that what you need to take off?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah. So and you could possibly say that the front of the plane's off the ground.
Yeah.
Do you know? So they're called 168s, Michael. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 168.
Yeah.
So it's a gatehouse guard, or it's a construction site 5 to 7 the next morning.
Yeah.
And how we're different is because if you're paying me for your security on your site, right, then every hour control will call you.
Yeah.
And if you don't pick up your phone, I won't like it the next morning when I read my report and next to Michael it says a red mark.
Yeah.
Which says you've not picked up your phone.
Yeah.
So if you don't pick up your phone, it goes to the task force, who's the Sparta response to alarm activations, and they also patrol clients' premises to check on the guard for welfare.
Yeah.
So let's say you could tell me reasons why you haven't answered your check call.
The first one, you could be dealing with some activity on site or something.
Okay.
Which is a good thing why somebody's coming.
Another one.
It could be in the middle of the night. I could have fallen asleep.
Yeah, okay. You could have fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Something could have happened to me while I was there.
Yeah, like what?
I could have been approaching some people that I thought had been suspicious activity or anything. Could have done, kicked me head in or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that,
right. So you could be laying there unconscious.
Yeah.
Also, we had an issue with one of the guards.
Oh, what, like health-wise?
100%.
Yeah.
So we have a duty of care to you to make sure you're okay if you're out yonder, because we do estates, we do forests up in Northumberland, we do all over the place. So I want to respond. I don't want to wait in the winter till 6 a.m. If it's happening at 12, you still and then the site manager comes to a frozen Michael who's on the floor dead. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if the site gets hit, right, and I'll be honest with you, they rarely do, unless they don't put the generator on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we say, well, listen, Michael last night has done 12 check calls, Mr. Site Manager, Mr. Business Person. Not only that, these are the areas that he's walked, because you have GPS on your phone. And if you don't have a phone, unfortunately, you can't work at Sparta, right? That's how it is. And where you patrol and where you scan, it's all documented and logged. So I can say, hello, Mr. Commercial Manager of Gestamp, let's say, or whatever.
Yeah.
This is where you need 2 guards on, or you need to have a better security system.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily about money. It's always about how do I get a smile on your face?
Yeah.
Because I want to protect your site. If the Sparta mark is on it, it reflects on me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't want, you're a salesman for me. If you're a client.
Yeah.
And I want to make you a good salesman. If your site gets hit, right, then I'll be a bad salesman when you're in the pub.
Yeah.
And like I said, with the ripple in the pond, burglars knock around with burglars, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Bible says,
birds of a feather.
Flock together.
Yeah,
100%. So, right, them will knock around. Site manager with the same people as themselves, and they'll pass the referral over in a pub. And let's say he's at Fujitsu, or wherever, he'll say, Sparta Security, this, that, and the other, good, David.
Yeah,
you know, so that's what happens, Michael, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So you said there that you do, you know, a lot of work within Teesside and all over the UK.
No, it's mainly the northeast, to be honest.
The northeast, sorry. So, how do you think that we're doing as a business community in Teesside? What do you think we do really well? What do you think we can be doing a bit better as? You know, just like all together. Is there anything that we don't do that we could be doing a bit better? Are we a bit funny at some stuff? You know,
people's people, aren't they? You know that. You know, Francis Jones doesn't. I'll be honest with you. I don't listen to the radio. I don't watch the TV. I don't read the papers. I don't go on Facebook. I am on the old LinkedIn. But I do see. I'll be honest with you. I see Ben Ouchin flagging them all the time. I've done this. I've done that. I've done this. You know, I see the business, the Teesside businesses, thriving. Honestly, I do. Like, I meet with people and they're always talking about this, about that. I see professionals within the Teesside area. So, what do you think? Let me just flip it. What do you think we're doing good in Teesside?
I think that we're really good at looking after our own. I think that...
Can you give me an example?
So, I think that a lot of Teesside businesses are really keen to do business with other people in Teesside.
That's good, isn't it? So, sorry. You say you can't slag no one off, or you can't name them.
You can't name them.
You can't name them, but you can slam them.
Yeah.
Oh, so Darlington Council.
Darlington
Council, hold your head in shame.
Yeah.
Honestly, listen. You know, like we did a river clean out once, right? So I got volunteers from around there, and we did a river. We cleaned out the Skern, right? We just went in and because they had a company called Sparta Street Saints, and the Saints were saints. We used to go out. Possibly there's one in Teesside called the Angels. And you go out and have you never heard of them?
I don't think so. I might have.
Yes, the Angels.
Yeah.
I might have got the name wrong. And we went out, and they go out with revellers, drinking, who need help and assistance and this, that and the other. But that wasn't the Saints. The Saints was clean litter, generally in areas of Darlington that way. And we cleaned out the river, you know. We took loads of stuff out of the river.
I bet you took some crazy stuff out
We
the
took
river,
like possibly 2 skipfuls, 3 skipfuls out the river, right? And we rang the council as well and they didn't like it. They didn't like it. Okay, fair dues. Do you know what I'm saying? Possibly I should have told them we were doing it, but I've never ever felt them on my side. I've never felt them on my side or work with me. So you say locomotion, and that's what brought me on to the point, because back when Bill Dixon was in charge, it's good, isn't it? If I'm a leader of a local company or council like Darlington, I will use Darlington business. I'd want to promote you here in Darlington. Because it's about working together, which is what you were saying about the Teesside. But, nah. So who does Darlington use for the security?
No clue.
A Midlands or a London firm. Oh, wait, behave yourself. Like Sparta are all over the town. But as I said before, people buy off people they know, like, and trust. They know me, and they trust me, because we're everywhere in the town, everywhere. But there's somebody who don't like me, and I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of theirs neither. They're just fine. Jesus says turn the other cheek. He does, but listen, life's life, isn't it? Sparta's thriving. Certainly ain't to do with Dartford Borough Council. No. Who I would not recommend. I wouldn't trust them. I certainly know them, but I don't like them. So they've got one of the 3, but it's still thriving. You know, and I want to work with companies who want peace of mind and who want a reliable and professional security company, because I'm passionate about being like Ben Ouchin's passionate about his position. I'm passionate about selling quality. It makes me happy. It makes me feel a benefit if I can help you. Whether that's like we found a badger last night, right? So we found a badger, and the badger was at death's door. I mean, it was at death's door. You know, it must have had 5 to 10 million maggots and ticks on it and this, that and the other, right? But here's one for you. In your okay, you can't change the world, right? You can't change the world, but what you can do though. See, I changed the world for that badger last night when I picked it up and put it on my back, because love is in this hat, right? I follow love, in the name of Jesus. Right? That's just, I'm a Christian, but I changed the world for that badger, and you can, whether it's picking a crisp packet up outside your door, whether it's, you know, saying hello to someone, right? Whether it's helping an animal, if you've seen it, I haven't seen it, but you know you've seen it, yeah, you because you've got a conscience, haven't you? Yeah. Do something about it, and do you know if we did that? Wow, Teesside, and the world would be a lot better place. Yeah, absolutely. So what I try to do, and when I go running, and it sometimes does me head in, because I have to keep stopping, you know, but I pick up litter. Yeah. And I put it in my pockets. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, because I've seen it. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's when I was at school, went to local school around here in Stockney and Ramsey, the head teacher at the time was a bloke called Mr. Winter. Or Winters. I may have got that wrong. I doubt you're listening, but I'm sorry if I've got your name wrong. And he used to pick up litter around the school. Like, you would see him just walking between the buildings and things like that, and he would pick things up, like, all the time. And at school, you know, kids are kids, they would make fun of him and stuff like that. But it kind of stuck with me, like, later on when I started thinking about the pride that he had in his school. Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? That he was going around, and he just, for that, it was something that stood out to me. I think that you just want it to be better. You're just trying to, like, you know, you've got a pride in it and things like that. So I'd, like, completely agree with you and things like, you know, stuff like that. It's kind of strange how it kind of sticks. And like, it's like it rubs off. So that's rubbed off on you, and there's things that's happened in my life that's rubbed off on me. But you know, as well, I used to get bullied when I was 13, 14. My dad was over abroad teaching and this, that and the other, and the feeling was unreal. I hated it. It was, and that's why I started boxing. And my name when I was boxing was Fearless, because I was game, and I was game because I used to get bullied, Michael. Right now that kid there at 13, 14 needed a mentor, right? When he's walking home, he needed a mentor, someone to look up to, with wisdom, with a bit of wisdom, Michael, and for them to be all my hand and just help me in life, right? And I didn't have it. I used to have to put a note in the teacher's duck when I got bullied. Oh boy, listen. And the feeling was with me even when I was walking the boxing ring, possibly stemmed from there. Do you know? And I never run from a fight, but there's the feeling. It was like, have you seen the film The Green Mile? Like, I couldn't have gotten more nervous if there's someone going to die than when Debbie was trying to bully me when I was 13-year-old at school. Yeah. And I couldn't have gotten no more nervous when I was walking the boxing ring if you just said, "Oh, you're going to die in that boxing ring," because I was they'd maxed out. Yeah. Right. But as soon as I get whacked straight on the nose, right, out there on the bank, boom, I'm game on. Okay, let's have it. And my game face comes on. It's the truth, though, right? But my point is, right. Here's my point, right. What's your surname, Michael? Leng can be a mentor for a 13, 14-year-old Francis Jones. And a Francis Jones can be a mentor for a 13-year-old Michael Leng. Do you know what I'm saying? And he can help him. So I want to just touch on this point. So when we used to have the doors, I used to have all the doors in the town in Darlington, right? And we had them in Hull, we had this, that, and we had strip joints, we had loads of different places. About 60, 70 doormen, right? But I give all that up for God. That's the truth. I asked him for a sign. I says, give me a sign, because I had a feeling on my brain, on my heart. And I says, and it was just a thought. And he said, pack in the doors. And I asked for it. I said, give me a sign. And at that exact second I said that, my phone received a text message. And it was a guy who we used to subcontract to at the time. Maybe it was 15 years ago. And he owed me about 15 grand through having security. We used to have like, you know, big nightclubs, which needed like 12 staff, and it racks up. Let's say it's $3,000 a week.
Yeah.
He owed me a month's work, and he texted me, said, I can't pay you. And I just thought, wow, that wasn't a coincidence. It was. It wasn't. It was a God incidence. And so I asked again, and I kept getting these signs right. Yeah. So I rapped in the doors, and I went down the avenue of static security. But whether I was selling a doorman to you, right, or whether I was selling a static security officer or a gatehouse guard, I'd have to give you quality. Yeah. I can't give you crap. Yeah. I can't. Do you know what I'm saying? So, because I have a passion about it, and it's Francis Jones whose name is it referred on. Yeah. For if it's good or bad, and I do not want a referral when you're down the pub talking to your pals, and your pals are all MDs and site managers and CEOs. Mr. Jones has given me this, that, and the other. I want quality. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So, absolutely. So the job, Michael, stays with you 24/7. Yeah. Do you know? I go home tonight. It's Friday tonight. You know, I listen and I love it. I don't not love it. It's unreal. And all you CEOs out there and businessmen know what I'm talking about, and women as well. And he knows what I'm talking about as well. It doesn't stop, you know, but it's unreal. And we're blessed to be in a position where you can run your own business. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. And by the way, this student's awesome. I want a picture before we go.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
How old are you, mate?
About, like, we had to work this out the other day. I thought I was older than what I'm about 30. I'm about to be 36.
Okay. Yeah. Because generally when you ID someone at a door and you say, how old they are, they say, this, that, and the other. You said I'm about 36.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I go, what's your date of birth, love? And they say, that's what you do to get them out. Yeah, yeah. What's your date of birth? No, not your date of birth. Sorry. I'm just saying when you're on a pub in a club, if they look 17, and they say, I'm born in 98. Yeah. And you're working out, the bouncers will stand there, and they'll be like that there. And they're not clever. No. But they'll pause 15 seconds as though they can work it out. Yeah, yeah. And they go, yeah, okay. Yeah.
I remember, I could never, like, obviously everybody, like, goes to get in when they're underage and stuff, and I never ever could till I turned 18, and, like, there was no way, unless I could, like, hide behind a friend and the bouncer didn't see me. I was never fortunate to get in.
Can I touch on this subject, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Michael, can I touch on this subject, right? Here's one for you. You're a Stockton at Teesside, yeah? Mm-hmm. There's a lady in Stockton who I want to recommend and refer. Okay. You say I can't give names out.
Yeah, you can absolutely refer businesses by name.
It's like called the Dog Trapping Team. Okay. And she's called Mandy. Now, and I know because I've just looked at my phone and I've got 2 missed calls of her, so it registered my brain. And she's ringing about the badger last night. Because I go to Mandy, she's a, like I would say, I'm a specialist, I'm a consultant security-wise in my niche, right? Yeah. As though you are with digital comms, etc., right? So Mandy's a niche and a specialist. If you've lost your dog, which it could be stolen or there's a problem, she will help you, right? Because love always answers. So whether it's 4 o'clock in the morning, I won't suggest ring at 4 in the morning, but listen, ring her if you need help, because she'll always help. And she knows how to trap a dog. There was a dog in Newcastle on the motorway, and the police said, you've got 24 hours. We're not shutting the road. They shut it for 10 minutes. But if the dog's not got in 24 hours off this road, we're going to have to shoot it, right? Yeah. And Mandy ended up getting it, right? Yeah. She's not good. She's awesome. Yeah. Her company, and it's all charity, right? It's all charity. It's called the Dog Trapping Team. The dog, Facebook it, right? And connect with her. Because she saved 156 dogs in 6 months' time.
Oh, that's incredible.
And she has a team around her. But listen, give money to her, like, because it's a charity. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And she needs this. But Sparta's gonna get her a van. Do you know, and also a fuel card as well, because she goes and she doesn't. I don't think she works. No, she walks dogs. Yeah. She walks dogs. But she can't walk them because she's dealing with emergencies all the time, all the time. And she'll have rang me for an emergency there, you know. Is this live?
No, it's not.
No, so it will have been an emergency because she's just rang me twice. I thought possibly she got the radio on.
Yeah.
And she's, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mandy Butler.
Yeah,
Butler.
Absolutely, everybody check her out. Yeah. So when we get people on the podcast, we ask everybody the same 3 questions as we get towards the end, because it's really interesting. I'll tell you the 3 questions first, and then we'll talk about. So the first one that we ask people is, what is your idea of success? What does it look like? And the reason that we ask is so people, whether they're starting their own business or wherever they are, we've had every answer that you could possibly imagine.
And it's just the truthful answer, whether it's right or wrong. I'll give you the truthful answer according to the Gospel of Francis.
And people have, we've had, I'll be successful when I'm a millionaire. We've had people who want to spend more time with the family. No matter what it is, like, everything's individual. Then the second one is, have you ever had a failure or a setback, or what seemed like a failure at the time, that has put you on the path to success? A lot of people, we've had quite a few people in who got made redundant or fired from the job that led to them starting up their own job. So it seemed horrendous at the time it happened, but it put them on the right one. And then the third thing is just something that you're obsessed with or just really into. So, for example, we've had people who've said TV shows. Ben Houchin was like home automation, like Alexa and Google and stuff like that. He's obsessed by that, like once, like all that kind of stuff, which was really bizarre.
He's obsessed by what?
Like, Alexa and Google, where you can set up to turn your lights on and off.
Oh, can you? Never. He's all right.
Like, he was obsessed with, like, by that. And, like, when we asked him, he was talking about all the mad things that he's doing at home and stuff like that. So we've had every answer possible. So it's just a fun thing to ask people. So we'll start with, what does success look like to you?
Success to Francis Jones is giving you a smile on your face, right? With what I do. I like to make people happy. And I wake up in the morning, and I've been put on this earth, same as you. Sorry, just you shouldn't answer a question with a question.
No,
right? It's the first rule of question, by the way. Yeah. But can you get right, Michael? Some of nothing.
Probably not. No.
Okay. Right, and I will answer your question, right?
Yeah.
So before there was a something, you're something. If I could touch you, I'd touch you, but you're a something, right? So before you were a something, right? There can't have been a nothing.
Yeah.
Right. There can't have been a nothing, because you can't get something nothing. Scientists say this and all of that, right? Right. So it's not in the Bible, right? Yeah. So all them Bible bashers out there, don't come bashing with me back, because I bash you straight back, But here's one for you, right? You've come from God, right? And you'll have been. He's omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. So he's all-knowing, all-powerful, everywhere present, right? There's nowhere that he's not, right? The Spirit of God, let's say, right?
A bit like Sparta security.
Similar. And I was talking to someone last night. They said, "Oh, that's like karma." Do you know? It doesn't say it in the Bible that you've had other lives and this, that, and the other, but in my opinion, you'll have existed before you came on this world. You won't never have not existed. It's just like the Men in Black, where they all down. They say, "Look at this, Mr. Reed." Boom.
Oh yeah.
Now here's one for you, right? If you can't get something from nothing, Michael, can you get nothing from something? So at the end of your days on this earth, you go back to your Creator, right? But the Bible says the majority don't get in through them pearly gates.
Yeah.
It says the minority. Matthew 7:14. Wide is the road that leadeth to hell, and many are upon it. But narrow is the port, and broad is the road that leads to heaven, and very few enter in. The majority of kids at school want to be a footballer, and 20 years on, I would say 1 or 2 are out of 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000. Right. It's exactly like that. The Bible says, if you know Jesus as your Lord and Saviour. Same for Ben Houchin, same for anyone. I'm not bothered who you are, what status, how much money you've got. If you know the gaffer's son, if you know him, I know you. I don't know. I've only met you half an hour ago, right? But I met Jesus in 2007. I had a brain hemorrhage, I boxed for the British title, and I still know I've not answered your question. I'm going to come back to it, but he's changed my life. He has changed my life, right? I don't knock on doors and say hallelujah, this, that. I can't sing. If I could sing, I might try, right? But I believe in him, and I carry him in there. Do you know when I carry him in there? See that badger last night? What I was talking about. I helped it. See that crisp packet out there? See this, that, and the other. See you if you ever need help, and I see it in my vision. Right? Jesus will help you through me. And although I knock at your door and you say go away, right? I will help. He always helps. Now, we're just going off the point there, right? But tell me a question, I can't answer it.
What is your idea? What is success to you?
So, success is making you happy. Success is making God happy. Being a benefit on this, because the majority come to serve themselves. But Jesus came to serve other people, not to be served. He came to serve. Can I help? Can I do this? Can I get you coffee? Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, there's a load of times we fail. So if I can help you and put a smile on your face in your business, and it's great for Sparta to get the appraisal and the referral, but just outside of that, do you know, if I can do a good turn for you, do you know what I'm saying? Then that would give me success. Yeah, I want a house, I want a car, blah, 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 the same as that there. I'm gonna try and get a Bentayga, right?
Ooh, very nice.
Which is a hybrid of a Bentley, right?
Yeah.
But I need a driveway. The place where I live, I haven't got a driveway at the minute. And although it's a lovely area, I need a driveway because Jim Davidson said when he had a Bentley, it's great, but people key it. They get jealous and this and the other.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing that. I had got a friend who emigrated to America, and I asked him like, what was the difference between like living like here and there?
Yeah.
And he said the difference is that over there, if they see you driving down the street in a Lamborghini or a Bentley or whatever it is, they find that motivational, and they're like, oh my god, your car's amazing, like how did you do it? This is
in
incredible.
Where, sorry?
In America.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, but he said here they'll key it.
Yeah, it's right. I know what you're saying.
He said that's the main difference.
But see, as well, a Bentley Bentayga. See, we use X4 staff, which I've said 100 times, but we use CP. So I have some top boyos who graft. We have Rolls Royce chauffeurs. So we also do close protection. Mm-hmm. So we'll go out and we'll take. We've done some work for the Royal Family before, do you know? Yeah. Do you know? And we did some work for Tony Blair when he was up here. Mm-hmm. We were doing security before he got shot. but we're all right though. Do you know? No, I'm glad you laughed there. Some people don't laugh at that.
I know.
So and if we get that car, do you know? So it's just so that'd be success. Yeah. So would the house. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? That would be successful. Yeah. Materialisticness. He wants to get a Bentley. That guy out of B&I, the big out, but we can't slag people off in here, can we?
Yeah. Well, not by name.
Not by name. No.
Just because I don't want the drama of people coming at me.
Yeah.
So the second question.
Second question was, go on.
Have you ever had a failure, or at the time was perceived as a failure, or a setback?
Well, can I just throw this at you as well then, right? God says he disciplines those he loves. The kids, like my dad, when I was a kid, I was up on the balcony in Benidorm, right, and I bought some rings for my mum, right? I got some rings with like the tippings that we used to get paying money. I thought, oh, they were great rings from the shop downstairs. I love my mum. And my dad come through the room, and I was on a chair on the balcony, right, and I was leaning over the balcony on the thing, right? Yeah. So my dad come in, and he gave me a good hiding, right? Yeah. Oh, he gave me a good hiding, which you can't do nowadays, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know?
For leaning over the balcony.
Well, why do you think he gave me? Well, okay, let's say it was your kids. He came in and he seen me on the chair over the balcony, right? Yeah. What do you think his heart did when he saw that?
Oh, it jumped out of his chest.
Oh, 100%, 100%, mm-hmm. Right? Okay, I started crying and all of that, this and the other. Do you think I leant over the balcony the next day?
Nope.
100% I didn't. So he disciplined me. Mm-hmm. Did he discipline me because he hates me or doesn't like me?
No.
Why did he discipline me?
Because he doesn't want you to fall off the balcony.
Because he loves me.
Yeah.
He loves me.
Mm-hmm.
He loves me. That's why he disciplined me. Yeah. Right? Do you have kids?
I do.
Do you ever smack them? Well, I suppose you can't say on radio. If I had a kid and they worked themselves, I'll be honest with you, they get that hand straight across their ass. I'll be honest with you. And you say all the government, the local, do you know, it's just life's life, do you know, all politically correct. And if my kid worked himself and my heart stopped, if I thought he was on a balcony, he would get that over his ass cheeks, right? So that happened, Michael. God says he disciplines those he loves. Mm-hmm. And no discipline seems nice at the time. Yeah. Because that didn't to me in Benidorm.
No.
But later on, it produces a harvest of righteousness, it says. It says, like, you get caught, boom, with a left hook. I've just disciplined you, right? Your trainer was saying, keep your right hand up or whatever. And then, now, bang, I've just caught you with a left hook, boom, and I've dropped you. Your left hand will be up now to stop it, I promise you, right? So, there's things that's happened in my life which I regret for loads of things. Yeah. But at 19, at 20, at 21, you're a kid. Do you know what I'm saying? And even adults, we make a mistake. And some are called habitual sin. So it's not just a sin, you know it's a sin. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I was going to rob someone out of this office. I know it's wrong. Yeah. And I've seen the opportunity, do you know, but something else that says, Michael, it all comes out in the wash. Yeah. Be sure your sin will find you out.
My nan, my gran used to say that, and my dad.
Oh, did she? Did she? Yeah.
Yeah, my gran, my dad's dad.
And no matter how much you try to cover it up, right? Yeah. Because there's angels all over this planet, right? And demons as well. More demons than angels, right? No matter how much you try and cover it up, it will still come out. Yeah. Do you know, with anything, with all sin. So, of course, I was a sinner. Still am a sinner, but I've sinned in the past. I regret certain things, right? I do. But my mindset, intelligence and wisdom at that time, I used to think it was clever and big, and it wasn't. Because I'm now looking at it with a 38-year-old pair of eyes, right? And the wisdom. Imagine if I could have that brain and go back to when I was 20.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, imagine, right, if you're 500 years old. Imagine if you're 1,000 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine if you're like billions of years old. Imagine the wisdom that you'll have.
Oh, I know.
Oh, boy. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The dogs come in.
Yeah.
And the last thing was, what one thing are you either obsessed by or, like, you know, really into at the moment? Or
So football, right?
Yeah,
football. I used to be a footballer. I used to be a YTS for Hartlepool, and I was obsessed with it. When the kids say, and I want to be a footballer at school, when the kids said, "Oh, listen, I want to be a footballer," action has got to attach to your faith.
Yep.
So it basically, if you said I'm a Christian, I'm a whatever, I'm this, that, and the other, there's got to be action attached to it. So you've got to be nice. You can't be horrible. You can't not forgive me. You can't.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And so, tell me your question, yes, again.
What one thing are you either obsessed by?
So I used to go out with my balls. I used to have 20 balls when I was 12-year-old, 11. I'd bought myself, I'd go out and I'd do half an hour of corners. And I'd do half an hour I was a really good footballer. I wasn't good, I was really good, right? I was really good. Because I used to practice, that's why I was really good. I was obsessed with it, right? In my boxing, I was obsessed with it, right? I was obsessed with boxing, right? All the time, train non-stop. And I even go out the house all the time, shadow boxing, do you know? Now, when I went to that B&I, the flick in my brain switched, right?
Yeah.
It went business, 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 right? And so, exactly the same as transferred over. But that passion and obsession can sometimes work on a negative thing. So, do you know, I went to America as a South. I used to be an Orthodox. So that's like writing with your left hand and then changing to your right hand. Do you know? Yeah. So I went to America to box. And I was over there 5 years in Los Angeles, in America, in Las Vegas. It was a lonely old time, but I wanted to become a world champion because I've just told you, faith and action have to be attached.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly the same with Ben Ouch, with anyone, with this business, right? If you've got an obsession, action's attached to it, right? So I went over there and I started boxing as a southpaw. And I used to get beat up and sparring. And, I hated it. I sat outside of Freddie Roach's gym and I just remembered saying to God, what a load of skitter this is. I said, honestly, do you know, I'd sparred a kid who was from Japan, and 3 rounds, and I never, just listen, it wasn't happening. I remember saying to God, I says, I've come 3,000 miles away here because I thought I was going to be a world champion. And I said, I'm sat there outside, and Freddie Roach is a world-class trainer, right, in boxing, and it wasn't happening.
Yep.
Right, and I pursued it. I went again, and I went again to America, and then I didn't, do you know? And so, because I thought I was going to do it as a southpaw, boxing, I had unlicensed fights as a southpaw. Do you know what I'm saying? And you sometimes, so that obsession can sometimes go the other way.
Yeah.
If you get it wrong, do you know what I'm saying? That?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I am. Everyone says they're a good person. You ask Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
And he'll say, I promise you,
yeah.
you'll say you're a good person. Mm-hmm. Do you know what God says about you?
I haven't well, he hasn't told me.
He says you're not.
Yeah.
He says, for all of sin and fallen short from the glory of God.
Yeah.
He says, you're deceitful and you're wicked.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I am as well.
Yeah.
He says, it's all right. The gaffer's son, Jesus, come down and die for the sins of man. I'm a messenger. I carry his voice with action in this life. For the badger last night. Yeah. And that happens regularly, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
The crisp packet, do you know? So if you ever see me, by the way, walk past a crisp packet, I'm not saying I pick 100 out of 100, right, up, but I do my bit. So don't be videoing it and putting it on Facebook, right? Because I'll get the henchmen to come after you. And we do have henchmen, you know. We have wenchmen in Sparta.
So if anybody's been listening and they want to have a chat to you about Sparta and security and having that for the business, where's the best place for them to get hold of you?
Yeah, so we've just turned into a Sparta group. So my email address is Francis with an I at the Sparta Group, thespartagroup.co.uk. If I can help you. If I can't help you, don't get in touch with me. But I like to help people, do you know? So it's one of them.
Yeah. Thanks very much for coming on. It's been an awesome chat.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. So good on you. And all the best with Teesside Business Podcast. And I hope you go to the very top. And do you know what gets you to the top? On the last point, I have a saleswoman working in Sparta, and she used to be on a factory line.
All right.
She can't really spell.
Yeah.
She's not the best at writing.
Yeah.
She's a lovely, lovely girl. Right? She's called Kelly Finch. Is what her name is. Right.
Yeah.
And you know she's about 32. You know. Now, Michael, I don't want her to go back to working on the factory line.
No.
I see in her enthusiasm, energy, and motivation.
Yeah.
And you can always work with that. That you've got whatever the area.
Yeah.
Right. So Kelly's on board now, right? She's trying to get her first sale.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not for a one to trying.
Yeah.
And when you look at her, oh, she's a beautiful girl, and she has got them, and she'll learn the skill.
Yeah.
Right. Through them 3 ingredients, and that will make me. Never mind about selling stuff to people, right?
Yeah.
That will make me happy.
Yeah.
Because I have made a difference in that person's heart, the same as the badger last night.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, the badger died on the back of my truck last night, right? But in my space, in my time, then I saw it and I did something about it.
Yep.
Do you know what I did? Thank you very much for having me on, mate. All right.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure. This has been the Teesside Podcast with Francis from Sparta Security. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Cheers, folks.
Thank you very much.